Welcome, everyone, to Music Junkies, a podcast about people sharing extraordinary stories about how music has impacted their lives.
Welcome, everyone, to Music Junkies. I'm your host, Annette Smith, and we have an awesome guest today, which I'm super excited about. Chibbs, he does a podcast as well, and we're going to let him promote the shit out of that thing at the end. So I'm excited about that. Thank you so much for joining me today from Australia.
Thanks for having me.
Which is crazy, right? Australia to Calgary. It's pretty cool.
Bloody technology, eh?
I know. Who would have thought? I think Zoom was around 10 years ago, and we didn't even realize it was even there.
No. I think whatever happened to Skype? They dropped the ball, didn't
Skype.
They dropped the ball. Yeah.
Not fun at all. I don't remember it being really user friendly.
No, it wasn't. It was a piece of shit. Yeah. Sorry, am I allowed to swear on this?
Yeah, you can swear your face off.
Good. All right, because it's already happened now.
Already dropped 16 F-bombs.
Yeah. It's Australia. What are you going to do? Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So before we get started, I always like to ask my guests, how was your experience putting your playlist together?
It was surprising how quick it came together. Like when you said, all right, you've got to do some homework, my eyes instantly glazed over and I was like, oh no, what do we have to do? And it's like, tell me 10 to 15 songs. And I was like, oh, let's just sort of start at the beginning here. Like what earliest sort of memory of something that really affected me. And then just, I worked my way through and it was like couple of minutes I had it done. I could have done 50, like really. I even was thinking last night, like it almost stopped me from falling asleep, is going like, oh shit, I forgot to put a cake song on there. Like, yeah.
Geez, at least I wasn't asking you for a bunch of dick pics, eh? That would have been a lot.
Oh, hey, that's it. Yeah, we would have been into triple figures, I think.
So we're going to get started on your first song. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Greatest Queen song, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, it's up there. Actually, my favorite Queen song is still Need Somebody to Love.
Yeah.
But Bohemian Rhapsody is the one that I was my first experience with Queen. So, and I'm still a massive Queen fan. Like I listen to Queen. My kids listen to Queen. Like my kids can sing like all of "Don't Stop Me Now." Like it's yeah. So Bohemian Rhapsody is what kicked it off. But yeah, I am and always will be a massive Queen fan. Yeah,
I love it. So when they're singing that song, what part? That chorus line, which one are you? Which kind of backup singer are you?
I try and do all of them. Line for line. It's normally the highest. Like you're normally going for the very highest harmony. But yeah, it's I still have the totally vivid memory of that song of I had to have been maybe like before school started, like before I was 5.
Wow.
And like my mum just been like screaming at us from downstairs, like boys, me and my brother, quick, come down here. We run downstairs and like it's a TV show here that's been on forever called Rage, and it just plays music videos on a weekend on a Saturday. And she's like, come in here and sit down. We thought we were in trouble. Like it was like a stern, like get in here, sit down, and then the black screen and the faces come onto the screen, and this song starts, and it was just one of those like instant, what is this? Like it was so bizarre, but like undeniably unreal. Like yeah, and then obviously you get to like where it all kicks in and you go to the Wayne's World headbanging part. But like I can still remember that. And then I think, when you think back to those times and go, I was probably, 10 or something, you go, hold up. no, if I was living at that house and I was there, then it was like definitely I wasn't at school. So this is 3 or 4 years old.
That's
I
insane.
remember that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Most people can't even remember a memory from there, and the fact that you can relate a song to that age is shows you how much power
Oh yeah.
has
Yeah, it's all Queen.
over somebody.
Yeah.
So I see
Yeah.
some guitars in the back. Are you a guitar player?
Why not?
Yeah. Are you like one of those guitar players that actually know how to play? Or are you one of those guitar players that, you know what, I should learn how to play one?
No, I can play them. I'm more of I play a bit of everything. So, yeah, that's where my whole background is. I've had I was in a band when I was like 13. We signed we signed a record deal with Sony when we were 13, and we were on tour and doing crazy stuff. And then by the time I was like 19, I was this like super jaded, washed up musician.
What was the name of your band?
It was called Trample. And I've been in a few bands since, but I play bass mostly now. I play bass in a reggae band, actually. So
No way.
yeah. We haven't played a gig for like a year and a half though, due to the old COVID. But yeah, I can play them. I don't play them very much, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So what kind of music was the band that you were in when you were 13?
Oh, like a full-on like screaming heavy metal band. Yeah, Teen Angst.
Yeah.
It was Teen Angst.
And
Yeah.
you toured all over Australia, or did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So no, I can play them. Yeah, I can play them good enough. That's what I tell people. I'm
That's
good enough.
Did you get lots of bras on stage thrown at you being young?
Nah, it's pretty. You've got that thing where you have to have like a parent chaperone you on tour because you're so young. So it's not mostly like you'd hear a woo. You'd be like, "Thanks, mum." Thanks. Yeah.
Stop flashing me your boobs. That's
yeah. It's getting awkward. Yeah.
I love it. You're the first one to have this song in their playlist, but I love this song. I haven't heard it forever.
Oh, really? No one's got it in there.
I Am the Walrus.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right? The Beatles.
Yes. Yeah. Which I don't know is that a controversial pick to be like as your Beatles song to pick? You pick I Am the Walrus? I don't know.
I think it is just, it's your prerogative. You can pick whatever you want.
Yeah. I think it's my favorite Beatles song.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. It's the one that I can always there's obviously lots of Beatles songs that you can always go and listen to, but that one, it has every like sort of aspect of how weird the Beatles got, but still stayed like a listenable song.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's where it met. Before, I don't know, they got too high. The drugs hadn't kicked in so hard enough to think that they were a walrus, but not hard enough to only play sitar for 15 minutes.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
What was your favorite band growing up in high school?
Oh, in high school, I would have to say it was probably my Linkin Park.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was probably, yeah. As far as actually like when I was playing in a band and listening, like just like that was like the pinnacle. Like Hybrid Theory had come out, and it was just like, okay, that's what I want to do. I want to play that. Yeah.
You see some pretty cool concerts, in high school.
Yeah. So my first concert I went to was probably my first year of high school, so year 7. And I went and saw this Swedish punk band called Millencolin.
Oh yeah, that's a great band.
So good, yeah. I saw them play, and then after that, a couple of months later, I went and saw Pennywise play
Old school punk. I love it.
Yeah, lots of punk stuff. So my older brother was like heaps into punk and stuff. So, just I sort of was leaned more towards like the heavier side. He was like right into the skate punk and real fast stuff and everything. So we would meet in the middle sometimes and be like, we both like Slayer because it was heavy and fast. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so and then there were so many festivals and stuff. Like, remember seeing Limp Bizkit at Big Day Out when a bunch of people died in the mosh pit that year.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was a big controversy with that thing. They were mostly fucking like pinging off their nut. So it's not. Yeah, it wasn't really Limp Bizkit's fault. It's probably more Ecstasy's fault. But yeah, they and like other like Mudvayne and stuff, and then there was some really cool like Australian bands getting around at the time that I got to see like locally. There's a really cool rock band from Perth called Gyroscope.
Okay.
And I remember seeing them, and they were just wild. Like they were just throwing their guitars around, and it was like crazy. It was like seeing that at like a local pub of just this Australian band touring, going like, holy shit, like that is a show. And I think still the most like awe-inspiring show I saw when I was in high school is I don't know that much about the bands. I listened to them a bit, but the band Dillinger Escape Plan. Yeah. So a friend of mine had tickets to it, and he's like, "We're going to go." It was a small pub in Sydney, and I went and standing there, and I swear, like, they started, and I just went into this like hypnotic daze watching this thing, and then the show was over, and I was just like,
"No way!"
Just happened. The very first, I remember the hi-hats counting in, and as they kicked in, the guitarist ran full pelt up the wall, did a backflip, and as the singer ran from backstage and ran 20 meters out on top of the crowd and then ran back to the stage without falling, just on top of people. And this happened like instantly. This was the first thing of the show. I was just like, what is happening? Like, what is this? So that's one I remember from high school. Yeah. Later on, when I was at uni, I saw Maroon 5 play at a pub to about 200 people.
Oh wow, that would be incredible, actually, even if you like them or not.
I like Maroon 5. Well, I liked Maroon 5. Their first album's unbelievable. That Songs for Jane album is so good. But that album had come out, but they weren't big, like, because that album was out for 2 years before She Will Be Loved like got into the charts. So they were touring the world for 2 years without anyone really knowing who they were. They played at this little pub in Sydney called the Gaelic Club. It's maybe 200 or 300 people. And that was just a thing of like, a mate of mine's like, I've got a ticket. Do you want to come? Yeah, all right. I've got to wait for the train. I'll come. And went and saw Maroon 5 play, and they were unbelievable. Yeah. And then the next time they came to Australia, they were playing a stadium. Yeah.
That's pretty cool when you see that, when you go see such an intimate event.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they just kind of blow up.
Like that. I've been lucky like that a few times. I saw Muse in like a 500-person venue in Sydney as well.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. Which then they came the next time they came out, they were in a stadium.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love that. Yeah. All right, next song. You ready?
Yeah.
On. Jeez, I haven't heard this song forever. I like the beginning. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people thought this was Corey Hart, when it first.
Really?
Yeah, because their voices are a little bit similar.
That's true. Yeah. David Essex doesn't just pop to mind normally to most people. Yeah. It's a really cool song. Yeah. I do like it. That's just down. My mum was a big David Essex fan and would play that all the time in the car, just driving around. And just the bass line and how minimalistic it all was.
Yeah,
Like
not a lot of lyric.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you're like, yes, this is awesome.
Oh, for a song that there's literally nothing happening in, it's very entertaining. Yeah.
Did your parents listen to music a lot growing up?
Yeah. So my mum was a dance teacher. So
okay.
yeah. So yeah, like she's always been in the music. We always were listening to music. And she was always very like up with the times. So, you know, when new music was coming out, she would be, you know, you'd be getting the CD or whatever. And it was like always in the car listening to music. And it didn't matter any style of music.
I love that.
Cool. Yeah.
And how about your dad? Did your dad love music as well, or?
No, not really. No, not at all.
I think it always happens like that.
Yeah.
It's such a blessing when you do have a partner that loves music a lot, but you don't hear that a lot. So one of them is like, yeah, I don't mind music. I like it, but.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing to me, like, to just be like indifferent to music. Just like, it's like, what do you do? Like,
I know. Go to a friend's house and they're not playing music. I don't understand it.
There isn't a time other than doing this right now.
Yeah.
This will be the only time there isn't music on.
Yeah.
There's always music on. Yeah, always.
So you're a dad? You have a couple kids?
Yes, I've got 2 kids. I've got a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Oh, wow. You took a little break there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there is a big gap. My daughter's 10, my son's 4, and they hate each other.
At least they're getting along. That's nice.
Yeah. I think it's more the fact that we've all been locked in the same house for so long now that it's. So
what are some things that you're learning about your wife and your kids being locked in a house for 4 months? That you might not have known before.
Well, I've definitely learned that my wife dislikes my company a lot. Yeah. Yeah. My kid, we've got to do homeschooling with the kids.
That's fun.
Yeah, which is an absolute nightmare. So, I'm learning how absolutely boring school is all over again, and going like, they really need to shake this whole thing up. There's got to be a better way of doing it than this. It's so not interesting. It's like if they can only make this stuff interesting, like people might actually.
What is your son learning that you have to teach him, like how to print?
Well, he's going to school. He starts school next year, so he's meant to be doing all these like preschool work, like learning how to write the alphabet and like numbers, basic like addition and subtraction stuff
that will get you through the world, really.
Yeah, and I feel like once you've got that, everything else is totally irrelevant.
And then so what would your daughter be learning?
Oh, you start to go into more like English stuff, like different, like, you know, like similes and like comprehension, like you read and have to rewrite the story in a different way and all this stuff. But they do everything from like coding and building websites and stuff like that now. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. That's
no tracing anymore. Remember when we just used trace?
Yes.
No more tracing.
I might have failed tracing. Yeah.
How long have you and your wife been married?
11 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We got married young, so like I'm 35, so early 20s, and then like our daughter's 10, so yep.
It's nice. You're just about home free.
It's all happening. Yeah, I'm almost
there.
When
had a boy.
Yeah, well, you just do what you're told, you know. It's like, all right, have another one now, no worries.
All right. I love this song, and nobody's had this one on here, so this is actually pretty cool. 7, 8 steps.
It's time to begin. I'm counting in. 5, 6, 7, 8.
So are you a dancer, or you just love that song?
No, I don't. I don't love it at all. It's actually a little bit traumatizing. But this is from my mum being the dance teacher and just hearing this song so many goddamn times. It was so popular for such a shit song.
Yeah.
This is a song that's is 100% on our list to do on our podcast.
Yeah.
It's I had to put it on here just because it's drilled into me so much. Like, just I think it led to me just disliking the fiddle, banjos, like anything like that. Is I put it down to steps. Those bloody steps. Yeah. And
I feel like maybe you were a male dancer to this song. That's why you put it on.
Look, I'm sure we had to do it in dance class, like at school.
For sure,
But it
you
was
did.
like, but we would hear it at home. We'd hear it like, and this was, I don't know if this was a big song in Canada, but this was huge here. Like, this was everywhere at the time. It was number one. It was on the like those songs they play on the radio every like 4 songs, and you go, oh Christ, like, really? Like, this is where we're at, is it? Bloody 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got to learn to count with steps. Yeah. It just, honestly, just that tiny section you played then was just very triggering to me. Yeah. I don't like it one little bit. I'll give people a little bit of a hint as to what rating I'll give it on our podcast, but it'll be a big 10. I'll give it a 10 out of 10 because that means I would rather die than hear it again.
That's right. So if you go back to the 80s, kind of hair band 80s,
Yeah.
who's your favorite either guitar player or lead singer?
I would have to say Axl Rose.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. People give Axl like shit about his voice. Like, it's one of those ones that gets parodied a lot, but I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about it. I think it's fantastic. And they got so much shit. Remember when like they disappeared for so long and that Chinese Democracy album was it was spoken about for 15 years. Like, it's coming out. And then it finally came out and it wasn't bad. Like, it was fine. But hearing Axl's voice again,
Yeah.
I was instantly like, oh shit, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he's back. And he sounded the same.
Yeah.
He's about
he did.
like 80 kilos like heavier, but he sounded exactly the
He
same.
ate himself, but it's totally fine.
It
So.
sounds the same. And yeah, I think out of that sort of genre, that sort of I mean, do you class Guns N' Roses in the hair metal?
Oh,
genre?
I do 1,000% for sure.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you've kind of got tiers of that glam metal, don't you? You've got your, like your Poisons and
Yeah.
your
Motley Crue,
Warrant.
Rat.
Yeah.
I'm listening to all of that stuff right now, working out, because I'm so bored of listening to motivational stuff.
Yeah.
So now I've created a playlist on YouTube, and it's like all 80s hair band.
Yeah.
I love it. It's been the best 3 weeks working out of my entire life. I'm just like,
It'll definitely get
I love this video.
you'll work up a sweat to it.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, it's all about having a good time.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've ever got back to that.
No.
Like, since. I don't think any style of music is about having a good time.
No,
like-
they're kind of crybaby now.
Yeah, the early 90s definitely wasn't. Like, then we were into a lot of anger. And then you got through to like the late 90s and sort of boy bands took over.
Oh, let's talk about some boy bands. Who was your
We can.
favorite boy band?
Controversial, but Five.
Oh,
You know Five?
I don't think I don't know.
Oh, do yourself a favor. They were
Look it up.
they were Poms. They were English. And they were like around the same time as everything. You Backstreet Boys and In Sync and all that. And Backstreet Boys are obviously amazing. Like I think it's too easy to say Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
But five were my favorite.
Okay, I'm gonna look them up today.
Look them up. They're absolutely great time. Yeah. I highly recommend 5. Yeah.
I'm scared to listen to that.
No, I you might enjoy it. You might enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look them up. I'm gonna check it out. And then now you have some angry Alanis Morissette on your playlist too. I actually don't know why she would have been angry. I think she was dating like Ryan Reynolds there. I don't really know why you're angry unless he
I thought it was a Canadian. I thought it was a Canadian thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Canadian thing. All you Canadians are so angry.
Just so pissed off all the time.
Yeah. With your gun crimes and oh wait, that's somewhere else over there, I think.
Why do you love that Alanis Morissette song?
Well, I mean, first of all, that whole album, that Jagged Little Pill album, is maybe one of the best albums ever put out. Everything on it, the lyrics and everything she writes are unbelievable, but the bands behind it is so you got Flea on bass, you've got Dave Navarro playing guitar on it, and you got Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters playing drums on it.
So crazy, hey?
It's like a super band.
Yeah.
And that I got my first ever CD player, like a portable CD player, and that's the album that I picked to get with it. So Mum got it for Christmas. Got me and my brother both a little portable CD player each. We got to pick one CD each to go with it, and I picked Jagged Little Pill. And that's the first song on the album, and you go like, I was just all in. Like I think I'd only heard Ironic.
Okay.
Yeah, which is probably the one that is the least like anything else on the album. Like
I agree. Yep.
Yeah. It was the most sort of radio friendly song on it. But I think that for the opening of an album is one of the best openers. One of the best openers ever. It's great. The first riffs coming into it, and the fact that like her style of singing is so bizarre that if she'd walked into like an American Idol audition and tried to do that, they would have like told her to fuck off instantly.
Yeah. Well, because she's like kind of like talking.
She's talking and then yodeling.
Yeah, it's like it's crazy. Is she your favorite female artist?
Oh shit. I don't think so.
Sorry,
I don't think so. Well, no, because
I'm just kidding.
I really only like that album.
Yeah.
Surely there's other people. I don't know. It's like
who do you think, or who is your favorite female artist? Or we're all into guys and you're like, no, I don't like any.
Nah. Oh man. I don't know.
There was so many male artists back then. Like there wasn't a lot of kind of heavy metal. I don't even want to say heavy metal, but like, you know, like Joan Jett or Lita Ford.
Yeah, that's right.
Just a lot of female heart, or there wasn't a lot of females back then.
No, like she was definitely like she ruled that whole era as far as like
for sure
female artist.
And she was an angry female, so all of us angry females were like, fuck yeah, getting in my car, gonna go run my boyfriend over, and I'm playing a
She's literally screaming like half that album so much at the
she's encouraging us to fucking kill our boyfriends is what she's doing through the whole album.
I enjoyed it and was scared. Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy my girlfriend this album.
No. Oh man, I have to have a think to about that. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So this next band, one of my favorites. Rage Against the Machine. Amazing. I love that song.
Yeah.
Have you been live?
No. No. They came to Australia. Well, they've been here a few times, and all way before I was too young to go to anything.
Yeah.
And then when I was old enough, they came out. They played Sydney Entertainment Centre, which is not that big, and I lined up for tickets, and they sold out. And that was it. Like, and there was the rumor that they were going to, before the pandemic hit, they were gearing up to do a world tour.
Wow.
They were back together, and it was going to be them and Wu-Tang Clan.
No way.
That'd
have been crazy.
Yeah. And I was
Why
like,
do you
oh
love
my
Rage Against
God.
Machine? Is there a story behind Killing in the Name of?
So this goes back to, I think, even before I'd heard Bohemian Rhapsody. So this is like
Wow.
super young. Like, I may be remembering being a toddler, like at this point.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure this song came out in 91 or something, 91 maybe. And so I remember when it had first come out, and that my mum was right into it. She loved it. She thought it was unbelievable, and she'd play it on when it had come on Rage, on this TV show that played all the videos, and but then would be turning it down, like all the
during the fuck you, won't do what you tell me.
yeah.
Oh shit, boys.
Yeah. But so I remember that, like, really early, and going like, that's amazing. But then later on, I think it wasn't even this song specifically. It was Take the Power Back.
Oh yeah.
And my brother just played it, like had it on in his bedroom or something. I just remember hearing the riffs and just the super sort of angry rapping lyrics, and going like, that's every single thing I want in music. Like, that's all I want. It's just unbelievably good riffs and angry rapping. And I would say by far, like, Rage Against the Machine are my favorite band, like, out of anyone. Yeah.
I love
go-to.
We seen these guys in Vancouver, and they're with My Girl Opened Up, which was really, really cool. I've never seen her before. It was pissing rain, and it was like a mud pit in there, but I'm 98% sure my daughter was conceived that night. 90.
No way.
So I always bug my daughter. She's 24. She just turned 24 September 11th. And I always bug her. I play this song for her, and she's like, seriously, Mom? I'm like, oh yeah.
Yep. Yes.
This is what's happening.
This is how it happens. You will listen.
That's right. So do you have any movies that make you cry?
Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gets you every time?
Yeah, he goes and gives all his toys away to someone else. They have to leave him behind. It'll make your bloody eyes well up. I remember Marley and Me. That was worse than
very sad. Yes.
That's worse than Schindler's List. That one. That's fucking horrific.
Yeah. If you've had a dog, don't watch that show. Like, it's
no. I don't know how that got made. I really don't. It's grief porn. Yeah.
I agree. Do you have any
fucks made that? Yeah.
Any bad habits?
What's that?
Any bad habits?
Yeah, heaps of everything. I bite my nails until, like, there's no nails left on them. Okay. My wife say I play with my feet all the time. That annoys her. Like, if I'm just sitting there, I'll just be like holding my foot. Like, stop playing with your feet again. So that I'll probably swear too much at inappropriate times.
Have you heard your kids swear yet?
Yeah. It was inevitable. And you go, hey, none of that. Oh, yeah. Good luck.
I love
Yeah.
it. So you love
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit, right?
Yeah.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up.
I feel like they came out and then they were like gone.
Yeah. So this is what I hear from. This is what I hear from everywhere. But
Oh, really?
here. Yeah. So, like at the moment, they're kind of like blowing back up again. Like
Okay.
there's this whole thing where they're becoming popular because they played Lollapalooza like a couple of weeks ago, and now they're in like heaps of media and shit. But I feel like everywhere else in the world, they were huge, and then it became not cool very quickly.
Oh.
Like, you know, and then it was like, nah, that's like new metal's gone too far, and we can't like it anymore. Limp Bizkit are the face of that, so no, like it's not good. Where I feel like here, it's if you go to most people and ask them if they like Limp Bizkit, they'll be like, yeah, how good? Yeah, Limp Bizkit are sick. Yeah, how good are Limp Bizkit? And all you got to do is play that, like play break stuff at the start, and you
That's
go
right.
like, oh, why am I not listening to this all
I know.
the time?
I feel like
Yeah.
it's been forever since I've heard Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, and you just go, it's so good. Like, especially if you like got some rage built up there, which definitely this is like a teen angst anthem. But man, like there isn't anything that nails the anger and like release that you get from Limp Bizkit. Just it does everything. It does everything you need it to do.
It's better than
Yeah.
therapy.
100%. All you need is Fred Durst. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any pet peeves?
Yeah, having my time wasted
Do you want to
is
give
another
an
thing.
example? Like standing in line or
Yeah, I don't like lines. I even like I don't like getting petrol, like putting petrol in my car. I feel like it's just wasted time. I can't do anything but stand here.
you get anxious? Like, are you like, hurry up?
I'm sort of like I'm a multitasker. I like to be doing like many things at once to feel like I'm being efficient with my time and doing things. And if there's situations where I feel like this isn't getting me anywhere, the monotonous side of those things just start to like enrage me a little bit. It's like getting haircuts is another one where it's like I hate getting haircuts, and it's not even like I'll let my hair just grow like so long until it's got to be tied up, and then be like, it's too hot, I'm getting a haircut, and I just go to whatever place I'm walking past and go just shave it all off, start again. But that is a thing of like, I'm not getting anything out of this. I just have to sit here and wait for you to cut my hair. I can't do anything.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one. And I don't like yappy dogs.
Oh yes, especially at 5 in the fucking morning.
Yeah. Do you guys? You don't have plovers in Canada, do you?
What is that?
It's the shittest fucking bird ever to walk the face of the earth.
Are they like magpies?
Yeah. Nah, they're fucked. They're these stupid fucking ground nesting birds. Which how dumb are you if you're a bird and you bloody put your nest on the ground? Like, but these things have the most annoying sound. They're super territorial, so if you go near them or whatever, they come at you. And but they'll just it sounds like the most annoying alarm clock of all time, and it starts like so early. Yeah, goddamn plovers. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
You guys got a lot of crazy kind of animals in Australia. What's the craziest animal that you've seen in Australia? That you're like, holy, you want to step on that or even get near that?
Oh man, that's like the freakiest one that you see, because you see them a fair bit and they will kill you like almost instantly, is a Sydney funnel web spider.
Oh.
They're big, fat, ugly looking spider.
Like how big are they?
And they will. Maybe the palm of your hand.
Oh my God.
But like really thick, like, and hairy. And they'll kill you. Like, you get bitten by one of them, like, you're in trouble. And you just got them. They're just around everywhere, just
hanging out by the outside of your house.
Yeah, like I was the other day. I was just moving stuff around my garage, and one just crawled around this box that I just had my hands in. Like, bloody hell! You get a lot of snakes, eastern brown snakes. We get them around where I live here. They'll kill you pretty quick. You see them a lot. Most things will kill you here.
Yeah,
most things. Yeah, you swim in the ocean, heaps of sharks. Yeah. But it doesn't really stop anyone from doing anything.
Yeah, you just get used to it, I guess.
I guess not many people do die from it. So, I guess
do you have to educate the kids about them? Like,
the really little, the big spiders, I feel like they normally are trying to get away from you. So, like, but there's the little ones. So you got these ones called redback spiders that are really small. Actually, there's one in my downstairs bathroom at the moment. I saw it last night. They'll kill you as well. But they're really little, like little enough that they can just kind of get on your clothes if your clothes are hanging out on the line.
Yeah.
And if you just pop your clothes on, one and bite you, and you'd be really, really sick and not know why, because you'd never find the spider. And
oh my God.
So those ones I tell the kids about, like if they're getting in the little like spaces and stuff in the backyard or reaching for a ball somewhere, it's like, just have a look before you chuck your hand in there. My son doesn't give a shit. Like, doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're the weirdest animal. I mean, there's weird animals, but I guess they're normal because you see them all the time. Like a kangaroo is a weird animal.
Yeah, it is.
When you see them, like we just have kangaroos like on our golf course here. Like they're just there. So you don't really think about it. But from an outside, if you landed in Australia and then was just like, what the fuck is that? Because they're big, like, 2.5 meters tall sometimes, like huge things. They could beat you up. It's a very strange animal, but that's what we're all about here.
We have magpies, bears, and cougars, right? So we don't have anything too.
Bears and cougars and mountain lions and shit.
Mountain lions.
Yeah, no, see, fuck that. We don't have anything like that. Like I'm pretty sure I can outrun anything that's going to kill me here. I can't outrun those. Yeah.
This
if
next
I step on a
song,
snake's head, I'll kill it. Yeah.
This next band I've never heard before. New Noise.
Oh,
I've never heard them. So I love your playlist because there's some stuff on there that I've never heard. What's your story about those guys?
So New Noise by Refused. When I said that Rage Against the Machine is probably my favorite band, this might be up there with my favorite song.
No way.
This is the first time. So I was at a mate's house when I was probably 13, 14. And his older brother, was a fair bit older, like 10 years older than him. And he was writing the music. He would go and get bizarre, like imports and stuff and, things that you couldn't just buy at a shop. You get them mailed in. And Refused, they're a Swedish band.
Oh, okay.
They were it's a cool story. So Refused, this song, New Noise, is off an album that is called The Shape of Punk to Come. And it came out in 1998, I believe. And it sounds like every single band 10 years later. Like,
no
it's
way.
10 years ahead of everything. And they called the album The Shape of Punk to Come. The thing is, they broke up before this album came out.
Oh, no way.
So they recorded this album, they toured, and they just weren't big. Like, they were in, I think there's a really cool documentary on this band. I think you can watch it on YouTube. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really, really cool. It's mostly in Swedish, so it's all subtitled, but it's really like an art house sort of thing. It's done really weird and strange, and it's kind of cool. But it's a story of Refuse's last show, which was in a basement somewhere in like Minneapolis or something, and the cops came and shut it down. It's just an illegal basement show, and that was it. And Refuse never played ever again. Like,
No way.
And they have since reformed. Fairly recent, maybe 5 years ago, they got back together. They've recorded 2 albums since, which are unbelievable. But it's the first time I heard someone scream like, not like a metal scream, like a different scream, but then mix it up with weird sort of spoken word singing into screaming. It was heavy, but it wasn't like Limp Bizkit heavy. It was a different sort of thing. And the intro to this song, I highly recommend going and listening to this whole song when we're done. You want something to work out to, this will fire you up. Like,
yeah, I loved it. I loved it.
I used to play rugby. I would put this on before games just to get you psyched
Pumped up.
to go on.
Yeah.
It basically changed like the bands I was playing in. I heard this and instantly went and changed the whole style of music that I was writing, singing, everything. I was like, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I started screaming like a madman, like he did. And next thing you know, you signed a record deal. So it worked out.
It worked out.
Yeah.
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
This next place. So now we're going to go to Coldplay.
Yeah. Contrast.
Right. Trouble.
Yeah.
So go to like hardcore, and then obviously we bring it down a little bit.
Just a bit. So, yeah, I'm a big Coldplay fan. Like, I love Coldplay. I love his voice, all the music they write, unbelievable. And that, I didn't always like them. I really hated Coldplay at one point because I was like a metalhead. So, it was just like, Yellow would come out at the same time that fucking Break Stuff came out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I'm not listening to that. It's like soft shit. And I came to it late. Like, this was for years. I was like Coldplay, and I kicked myself because they played. Like, I was watching them. Like, they played at a festival, and I sat there and watched them play, waiting for the band after them to come on. They played at like 2:00 in the afternoon. So like, they weren't a headlining band or whatever.
Yeah.
And not appreciating it at all. Just being like, for fuck's sake, goddamn Coldplay, get off. I'm waiting for this band to come on. I don't even remember the band that I was waiting for. You know what I mean? Like, it mattered that little. But I didn't appreciate the fact that I was watching Coldplay at the time that album came out, and like, to like not that many people. Like, and I sort of did. I've done that a few times. I did that with Kings of Leon. I did that when their first album came out, and I saw them at a festival and was like, oh, for fuck's sake, get off. Like, and now I go back and listen to the first Kings of Leon album. It's unbelievable. And you go, fuck, I'm an idiot. Yeah. And I sort of have taught myself now, like, to never write anything off based on a genre. Like, I like to just base everything on a song. If it's a good song, it's a good song, no matter what style of music it is. So, Trouble, I was working at Woolworths. It's like a supermarket here, just like packing shelves. And they used to play this song all the time, Trouble. And I hated that job so much. But I think like maybe after like the 50th time I'd heard it, I was just like, fuck, that is a really good song. That's like, it's really good. And I remember we used to have to catch a train for like 2.5 hours from where we lived to Sydney to be able to buy anything that wasn't like a top 40 CD.
Yeah. So
mates of mine, we'd just jump the turnstiles, get on a train, go to Sydney, get to Sydney and try and find a like fence we could jump over to not have to pay to have caught the train. And then we'd go to this place called Utopia, which was this massive CD store in Sydney that did all this alternate stuff. And I got there and I'm buying like, you know, whatever, all this like sort of underground metal stuff. And then I see they've got Parachutes, like the Coldplay album, sitting there. I'm like, fuck, I wonder, will my mates see if I pick it, if I chuck that in my pile? And I did it. I grabbed it. I bought it, and it's the first thing I put in my Discman on the way home on the train and listened to it. And all my mates are listening to like Cannibal Corpse and you know like kind of shit. Yeah. And there I am to Coldplay album, and it's unbelievable. I reckon I still listen to that album all the time. Yeah, my kids know it. Like it's Shiver by Coldplay on that album is unbelievable as well. But Trouble, it's also, I worked in a music shop for like 13 years.
Oh wow!
And Trouble is my go-to piano song to show people a piano. So like if people come in to look at a piano or to buy, it's like, yeah, this one's good. And you just play Trouble. It's like the one thing I can competently play on the piano. That sounds impressive. They're like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. It's like, don't ask me to play anything else. I'm gonna play the Rugrats theme song after this. Yeah. Yeah. So Chopsticks or something. But it's unbelievable. I can't speak highly enough of that album at all. The production of it is unbelievable as well. It sounds amazing. Yeah.
I love it. It's good, right? It's amazing how, again, what songs bring up for people and how you can just, you know, hold so much emotion goes into so much music, and then you don't even realize it, that it kind of shapes your life so much, right?
That's what's cool about this show. The
fact that you didn't even realize that what band was coming on, like you've totally erased that from your memory because they have now taken that spot in your filing cabinet in your brain. That blows. Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have any fears? Anything you're really scared of? Gross spiders.
No, they're all right. What am I really scared of?
Heights, falling down.
I don't like heights. Like you freak out if you go to like the ledge of like a really big drop and look down. But at the same time, if someone said, you'll be sweet, like you can definitely land in that water there and you'll be good, I would still go and run and jump, because the idea of like missing out on that is worse than the fear of it.
Yeah.
So anything that I'm really scared of, I try and do as soon as possible. Like, basically,
I love it.
Because I don't know, you don't really want to be scared. I mean, there's always going to be the natural things you're scared of. You're scared of like the safety of your kids and all this stuff. But things that you've got control over that you're scared of. Like I was like. I went through this phase of like before I had my license, and a few of my mates did, they'd go around and be hooning around, and I'm like, we're going to die. Like this car's going to crash into something. They don't know what they're doing. And that kind of freaked me out. And then I went rally driving myself, which is even more freaky, but you kind of go like, this is scaring the shit out of me, but I'm doing it. So now it's not that scary anymore. So yeah,
I love it. It's great.
Try and do that. I was always so scared of roller coasters and shit as a kid.
Yeah.
Like I'd go to those and be scared of them. And now it's like my favorite thing to do. Like I just took my daughter up to Queensland, to all the theme parks up there. I was like, well, like before we all got locked down, we had this little window where it went back to normal. And we basically got over the border of the state and back with like an hour to spare.
Wow.
Before they locked us all down. Otherwise, we would have been trapped in a different state.
No way. That's crazy.
But we were just like, I said to her years ago, it's like, as soon as you're tall enough to go on everything, we'll go and we'll just ride roller coasters like
Yeah.
for 3 days.
That's
And
awesome.
and so we did that. We did that like a few months ago, and yeah, she's not scared of that stuff at all. Like I wasn't that age.
No, they're fearless,
yeah.
right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play your last song, and then I'm gonna
Right.
want you to chat a little bit about your podcast. So
Right.
I'm gonna pick the last one, but I'm only picking it because you did say that you're
Like we
glad.
always do at this time. I go for mine. I guess to shine. Now throw your hands up.
Put some West on there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you wanted to run and put that. So why do you love that song? Is there a memory from that song that you love?
I love Kanye West. Like I'm one of those like true believer Kanye fans. That's
Yeah?
just like, ride or die Kanye West. Yeah.
I love it.
He can
That's
do
good.
he can do no wrong. He can do no wrong in my book. I think he's maybe one of the best producers before over anything. I think as far as a producer goes, he's one of the best ever. He's up there with Dr. Dre as far as a producer goes. Listen to any Kanye West track, whether it's something from like new album like Donda back to Graduation and anything, and you go, the way these tracks are put together is so confusing. There's so many moving parts in there that shouldn't work but do. Like that, even in Good Life, he uses a vocal as the melody hook in it. So he's singing over the top of someone else singing that is the music for him. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that shouldn't work, but it does. And he does that over and over and over again.
Good, but it does.
No, it should sound like there's way too much going on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. You can make it work. And I think as a lyricist, I think he's amazing. That song, Good Life, though, is like what we were talking about, where songs about like just having a good time. Like a song that just gives you a positive feeling, makes you feel good. But there's not that many of them anymore.
No.
That's one that you can just put on. I put it on in the car all the time with my kids and stuff, and they're just straight into it. It's like everyone's all of a sudden, you can change the whole vibe of the house when we've been locked together and fucking hate each other and whatever. It's like I can put on Good Life by Kanye and all of a sudden it's going to change the whole vibe.
Yeah, then they all love you again and then you can go on and
for a little bit. And then the song finishes and they hate me. Yeah.
So I want you to talk a little bit about what you're obviously doing now during this craziness. You started a podcast. When did you start your podcast?
April last year.
Okay.
So basically the start of our first lockdown here. So I've sort of lost track of what everyone else in the world is like, but in Australia we've spent I think 3/4 of the last 2 years in lockdown. But this last lockdown that's lasted about 3 months was because there was 20 cases of COVID in our state.
20.
20. Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
How did this podcast come up? Like, are these like 3 really good guy friends or girlfriends?
Yeah. So these so this was when I was working at the music store that I was telling you about, and the other 3 guys, so Dan, Bevo, and Zav, who I do the podcast with, they which I'll definitely. You'll have to get them on.
I want to for sure.
Well. Yeah.
I would like to do you guys all individually and then do you guys all together. That would be cool.
That would be sick. All right, we'll tee that up. So at one point or another, we all work together. So not all at the same time, I don't think, but like over that period, everyone worked together, and Bevo still works there. So like he's still there, and one time, so I used to manage the stores, so I was going between stores or whatever, and Bevo was working at one of them, and I was saying to him, we both were reading the 1001 albums you should hear before you die, you know, those big books.
Yeah.
where you've got like 1001 movies you should see,
Yeah.
1001. Yeah. So we were both going through that, and we were, Bevo's still doing it. Like, he's fully committed. He's going through it. I gave up. But he I was talking to him about it and saying, like, there's all these albums in here, and a lot of them are absolute dog shit. Like, they're in this book. Like, I have to hear it. And you listen to them and go, no, this is no good. I said we should do a podcast that's 1001 albums that make you want to die, and so that was the original concept to it. But then when we actually sort of spoke about it, we we're like, oh, doing a whole album is a lot of work. Like, you know, it's a lot of songs you got to listen to. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't get to listen to a whole album like ever anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, let's just do 1001 songs that make you want to die. It's like, okay, well, that's much more manageable. So there was basically, we were all locked down and had nothing to do, and we all own recording gear and have the technology to do it. So we can all go sit in our bedroom or wherever and record. And yeah, so we just started. We just picked, I think, the first ever episode. We did Axel F by the Crazy Frog, and a Butterfly by Crazy Town. We went with the crazy theme, and yeah, and we've done 220 something episodes now, and it's like a top 10% globally ranked podcast. We're in the top 100. We finished in the top 100 podcasts in Australia last year.
Wow.
And it's just crazy. Like, you just see, you kind of forget about it. You're just sort of recording them and uploading them and then going on with your life. And then every now and again, you get an email that's like, 200,000 people have downloaded this. And you're like, what? yeah. So, which is crazy because it's just 4 idiots like talking absolutely.
That's good, and it's unique. That's what makes it awesome.
Well,
A lot of people just go on there and just talk. Like, I had this guy send me his podcast the other day, and it was about sports, and I'm like, no offense, but like, you're just blabbering. I don't even, or like people that don't even have, they don't have to have a good voice, but I need you to Barry White me. Why are you fucking Barry White me? Like, oh my God, I turn you off. I can't fucking handle it. I'll lose it.
Yeah. There's so many out there. I mean, there's so many, but I think the format we came up with works because you've kind of, you know, you break everything down. You go through the lyrics, you go through the story.
Yeah, I love when you guys
song.
go through the lyrics. That makes me laugh so much.
That's always like such a funny part because you don't realize how many lyrics there are that you've been singing yourself. Like,
you need to like read the lyrics of "Pour Some Sugar on Me." It will like so nice.
we did Semi Charmed's Life by Third Eye Blind, and like that song comes on the radio all the time, like just commercial radio. There's no radio edit of it. There's no anything. It's like the whole first verse is about him getting a blowjob, and then the second verse is about him doing meth. And it's like blatant, like it says
on the radio.
Yeah. And it's just like, and you go, hold up, I've been singing this song with my kids. Like, what's going on here? Yeah. So yeah, and then we go through, and at the end, we rate all the songs out of 10 as to how much they make us want to die. And to be honest with you, most of the time, we get to the end of it and we've shit on this song for an hour. And then it gets to the end and we go, I really like this song. It's like, I know it's shit, but I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good concept. I love it. Where can people find your podcast? Where can they find you guys?
Yeah. So anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, Stitcher, everywhere. Anywhere you get your podcasts, it's 1001 songs that make you want to die. That's the number 1001. And yeah, get us on Instagram. That's 1001 songs that make you want to die. We're also on TikTok as the 1001 Crew, but pretty much all of our Instagram stuff goes there. So Instagram is the main spot, and we have a whole list of crazy guests that we never thought would actually say yes to coming on the podcast coming on soon. So it's very exciting stuff coming up.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Music Junkies. That was so fun.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's great.
Amazing flow. Right. I appreciate your time for sure.
I could come up with another 10 songs for the next episode.
Yeah, I want you to.
Yeah. And I'll definitely tell the other guys. Like, yeah, I'll get them to get in contact with you because you got to get them on.